Hello. I was just talking away on Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, it's past 6. So welcome. We are live here in, where are we? We're on Instagram. We're in general Facebook. We haven't been with you guys in a minute. So, hey, we are also in LinkedIn and in our private community. So welcome. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. This has actually been a very good Monday. A lot of times, by the time I get to 6 p.m., I'm exhausted. I'm like, Lord, this is the last thing and I'm going to sleep. But I am actually fueled up. I'm excited. I am just excited for this month's possibilities. And so I'm just so excited that I'm here. As you see, we've been standing today, guys. I am super excited for that too because I got tired of sitting down. I said, you know what? I'm going to do the work. This morning I came into the office. I moved my computer around and we did it. So welcome to the other side of the room. I talked about this for months about how I was going to redo the space so I could use different backgrounds and all that. And then I just sat my behind in the same seat every day. And it's like, nope, this is another backdrop for us. So welcome. We are playing with the new camera setup. So we're going to see how that works. I'm trying to figure it out. We got a camera here. So hey, Instagram, and we got a camera there. Hey, everyone else. We're going to see how it works. But again, just so happy to have you guys here. Before I go into a long chat or just get off topic, let me at least introduce myself. I think that's fair. And if you would like, I would love for you to introduce yourselves. If you're watching, if you are in our general Facebook, if you're in our private community, if you're in LinkedIn, or if you're on Instagram, tell me hello. Let me know you're in the house. If you see me glancing, it's because I have Facebook and LinkedIn up so that I can see you guys. I can also see your comments here on this side. But like I said, we're trying a new setup, so you're a little further away. And the comments are a little further away on my main screen, so I'm just going to check in as I can. But hello, welcome. I am Corey Foster. I am a speaker. I am a trainer. I'm a certified business coach, and I'm also the CEO of iRock Remarkable Business Solutions. We are based here in Virginia, USA, and we pride ourselves on supporting small business owners just like yourselves, coaches, consultants, speakers, and authors, all trying to do business on a shoestring budget. We specialize in helping you to find and engage with your target audience and then consistently implement your sales and marketing plan. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you're definitely in the right place. Every single Monday at 6 p.m., we are here live. I always tell people, get in where you fit in. We're always in our private community. We've been doing good about being on Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. And then we're either in our public Facebook page or we are in YouTube. So it just depends. You got to, if you want to for sure get into that private community because we actually have bonus lives and other trainings available there. I actually did a live this morning where I just kind of checked in, but I also showed them a look into we have like a guide section in that group where they have some additional resources. So I showed them what some of those additional resources were earlier today. And if you're wondering what resources, get your butt over to the private community so you can check it out because there's a wealth of free information there. I try to make sure that we always have some type of value content available that's completely free. You just have to join the group. Okay, simple as that. You join the group, you get the free stuff. But anyway, again, if you're watching this on whatever platform, tell me hello so that I know you are in the house. So being that this is a Monday, and we're going to definitely give you some value, I decided to go with a theme for the month of September. Now, don't judge me because I never know when the seasons actually hit. But when I think of September, I think of changing my closet around to fall. I think about a little bit of changing weather. And I'm in Virginia, y'all, so hey, it is what it is. But I think about just kind of getting ready to relax and enjoy being outside. I'm not a summer girly. I like when it's a little cooler. So September, October is that time for me. And so, whether or not it's actually fall, we are going with the fall theme. So, if you're wondering why the topic tonight is strategic seeds of success, cultivating and flourishing coaching business, is because I just wanted to go with a fall theme, y'all. I'm going to believe it until I see it. So, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And if you're wondering what does that topic actually mean, it means that we are going to be looking at this month our coaching businesses as a whole. Now, some of you may be saying, well, I do more consulting, or I do more speaking, or I have a book that I'm trying to promote. I get it. I work with entrepreneurs who typically use books as a supplemental addition, a great asset to have as part of their coaching business. I work with coaches who are also consultants that work with colleges, who work with big companies, but they also work B2C with actual clients in their coaching business. I work with speakers who go out and speak to the masses, but then also sell from the stage and get people back into their coaching business. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna focus on the coaching business because I think out of all of those different types of businesses, this is the one part of that business that if you focused on, this is the thing that can actually make sure that your family are fed. I feel like books are great, but the odds of selling enough books to be able to pay your mortgage every month, is hit or miss. I think consulting is great, but consulting a lot of times takes a lot of connections, and then it takes a lot of pitching and applications. And sometimes you are doing that far in advance, so that check may not be here for 3, 6, 9, even 12 months. And then you have that's consulting. Speaking is the same way. And so with coaching, I feel like I can at least put more of the power back in your hands. And you can do this and focus on it in a way that will allow you to, like I said, stay fed. So that's why we're focusing on coaching. I totally know that some of you also do other things. I too also do other things. Hello, hello. I see you in the house. I too also do other things, but I know for certain that the coaching business, if it does well, that I'm able to comfortably take chances and do things outside of that realm as well. All right, so when we talk about our coaching businesses, we're going to start from the beginning. I know some of you are in different places. Some of you are starting. Some of you are kind of running the business and trying to see what works. Some of you are scaling. No matter what, this goes for all of you. So the first step we're going to talk about tonight is planting strategic seeds. I think it's just so important to make sure that you're being strategic about everything you do. If you had a chance to check out Misha's masterclass, she kind of talked about the market research and really taking that first step to be able a strategic plan, right? To use the data to make money moves and to really be able to do things not out of emotion, but out of data, out of the numbers. And so when we're talking about strategic planning here, we need to make sure that at least, if nothing else, the thing that we're doing in our coaching business needs to align with our target audience's needs and preferences. Again, I always tell you guys, like, you stop falling in love with products. Stop saying this is what I want to do and this is the way I want to do it. I get it, but that is not what sells. We have to make sure that your audience wants this thing from you and in a way that works for them. So, what does that mean? It doesn't mean, say, for instance, you have an amazing coaching program, right? And you want to put it where they have a course, but in order for them to really be successful, they also have to come to daily sessions with a group, right? And the daily sessions only offered at noon, and the daily sessions 2 hours a day. Now I'm being a little extra, but that's the thought process, right? Say that is your plan for your coaching program, but the people you're coaching are school teachers, right? Well, school teachers don't have Monday through Friday free at noon for 12 hours. I mean, for 2 hours. So even if they want the materials, even if your coaching program would work, it is not created to be in alignment with your target audience's preferences or their needs because of the fact that they cannot access the materials in the way that will benefit them. So we as business owners have to say, okay, yes, we have to make sure we're available, right? And that we can fulfill the need. But we also have to say, okay, what can our audience, when can they be available? What is their budget? How do they want to receive the information? Are they visual learners? Are they auditory learners? Do they have to be hands-on? Do I need to be in person? Can I be virtual? Like, what do they need in order to be successful? And then how can you fulfill that for them? You need to be able to identify the right niche. And I actually talked about this with someone recently because they said, oh, I can do it all. I can help everybody and I can do everything. And I said, well, really, no, you can't. Nobody can do everything. I think some of us are gifted listeners and we offer some pretty sound advice. Therapists do the same. But I think that doesn't mean we're actually able to solve everyone's problems. And even if we could solve everyone's problems, most of us don't have the budget to get in front of everyone to market effectively so that they can benefit again from our services. So especially if you are in the beginning stages of your business, right? You don't have the money necessary to scale, right? You don't have the bandwidth of a team to support you. You do have to niche down. I was recently in a talk, I think it was maybe a month ago. I was on a panel, and I'm sorry I don't remember his last name, but this gentleman named Michael talks about scaling, and once you get to the place where you can scale, kind of being able to get out of the idea of niching down so tightly, because you again have that bandwidth to really interact with a broader audience. But the trick of it is you got to be to a place where that makes sense. And so, yes, I know it's annoying. Yes, I know you feel like you're missing out on opportunities and money, and you're capable of so many more things. When you are not to that place where you have a full team and full automation and a very much so bigger budget, we do have to niche down so that we can focus on the people we can get in front of and we can successfully help them. So make sure that you are niching down, making sure your services resonate with your ideal client. Make sure we're choosing the right products and the right packages for the strategies that we're going to implement in our coaching business. So what does that look like? If you're going to have products, e-products, physical products, again, make sure that those will hit with your target audience. Make sure they make sense. If you have packages, think about your price point, think of what's involved. Oftentimes we want to throw everything in plus the kitchen sink, and really it's just overwhelmed. It's just too much information. People don't know where to start. People don't know when to implement and how to implement. Sometimes we have to say, wait a minute, is this going to be overwhelming? Is this something that maybe should be 2, 3, 4 courses? Should this be a in-person retreat? Like, you have to really look and say, okay, where are they now? Where do I want them to go? And then what are the least amount of things I can put in here to make sure they achieve it? Because I think the rate of finishing a course is less than 50%, y'all. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head. If somebody knows, throw it in the chat. But less than 50%. Why? Typically because people just lose momentum, they lose inspiration. They usually go into a course wanting to solve that problem, or go into a coaching program wanting to solve the problem. But as they go through it, especially the longer it takes, the less momentum they have. And especially if they're not making progress or just learning things, great. But if they're not able to implement and see results, they lose this thing, they lose that momentum, and then they quit. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So we need to be very strategic about how we set up our products and packages and what we include in order to really serve our clientele. So once you do all that, we're going to talk about nourishing the growth through consistency. Consistency is going to be your best friend now and forevermore. There's not going to be a time where you don't need to be consistent. You need to show up consistently. You need to be selling consistently. What is it? ABC, always be closing. There we go. Yes, you need to always be trying to convert your clients, trying to engage with them, trying to make real good connections with them, right? Because consistency leads to better engagement. And so even if you don't feel like it, even when life is lifing, we still have to show up for our target audience. We want to make sure, as always, we're providing valuable content. I've talked about it before. I think at least 80% of everything you put out, aside from things people are investing in, should be value, right? Should be value. Yes, you can tell them about an event that's coming up. Yes, you can try to sell them a ticket or whatever. Yes, you can just tell them, hey, this product is here. Here you go. This is the link to buy. But 80% of what you put out should be value content. What does that look like? We've talked about that in previous Monday Night Lives, but that could be emails, right? Where you're sharing information, YouTube videos, free webinars, just free lives and talks, social media posts, carousel posts, reels, stories, etc. free ebook, whatever the case may be, giving out value, not trying to sell, but just giving out information because it shows that you are a credible person, shows you're a caring person, and it allows your audience a chance to see how amazing you are, to see you as that industry leader, to see you as a person a person slash company, right? That they want to work with. So putting out amazing, valuable content consistently. And then you really do need to think about building a community where you can nurture cold leads and turn them into warm leads. If you do not have a big marketing budget and you do not have a team that can help you host big events and things of that nature, it's going to be imperative that you really have great connections with potential clients. And one way to do that is through building a community. It doesn't have to be on Facebook, and most certainly can be on a different platform. There are platforms built just for building digital communities. It could be in person if that makes sense for your brand. You also, if you have like an e-course platform, I used to use Thinkific. I still recommend it to this day, but they inside of their system have a place in which you can build a community as well. You need a place where people can see you, right? Get the value from you, but they also get an opportunity to actively network. They get to foster genuine connections with each other, you and any other team members or experts that you bring in. Because once they know, we talked about this, know, like, and trust you, then they are able to be more easily converted into clients who invest. And I would even say clients who invest in high ticket items, right? Because we're not just trying to sell an ebook. We're trying to sell a couple $1,000 course, mastermind, what have you, coaching program. All right, so let's talk about cultivating that engagement and those relationships. All right, now you have to remember as the business owner, you're not only trying to do that with potential clients, you're trying to maintain that with current clients. You're also trying to do that with colleagues, right? Your peers. Because and I was talking to somebody about this recently too. Imagine in 2024, right? You've been doing this alone, trying to build out your community, trying to build out your group coaching program. Like you can see it, right? But for some reason, you're just not able to get it done, right? To make it so that it's going to be everything you dreamed. What if you had, let's say, 3 other coaches that did something that serviced your audience but were just a little different? Maybe you are into marketing, someone else is into sales, someone else is into mindset, right? What did I say, 4 people altogether, and then the other person is into systems. So you got 4 people. Well, if you had 3 people plus you, and you all could do those things, imagine what kind of coaching program you all could agree to support each other. So you're the main person in your coaching program, right? You're the head coach. And then once a month, those 3 individuals will host a workshop for you, for your community, right? And then maybe once a month, they'll host a Q&A and they'll contribute a short mini course to your overall coaching program. Think about how much more you could charge or make your investment cost if you had them do that. And you might not even have to pay them, because if you all agree to do that for each other, you all would have an amazing coaching program already embedded that looks like a super professional, super valuable coaching program, which is great. You don't lose any money for having these amazing, coaches, experts in their field, but you all benefit from each other. That is something you can do when you collaborate the right way, when you network the right way. And you have to be strategic about this, because that doesn't happen by happenstance typically. That happens because you're out here seeking those connections, because you know what your end result is, you know what your goal is. So you need to be thinking not only of building those relationships with clients, absolutely you should be, right? It's easier to keep a client than it is to get a new one. You should be thinking about cultivating those relationships with potential clients. Again, building that know, like, and trust. But also, yes, your colleagues, other people in your industry, building those strategic relationships so that when you call them for help, they answer. And if you've noticed, I have lots of experts that I've connected with and I've brought in front of you guys. That is, again, not by happenstance. We reach out. I literally sent my assistant a message for the rest of the year saying, these are the experts I'm looking for. Can you begin doing some research for me to find these individuals so we can reach out and set up some coffee chats? Because I know who I'm looking for. I know what I want to offer my audience. And I know even moving into next year, how I want to leverage the relationships I started in 2023. Because some of you guys have that feeling of you need that right away gratification, like, okay, I'm gonna do this today and I'm gonna get this tomorrow. But we're playing the long game. We are playing the long game. And the relationships that I built this year, I have been really trying to nurture those relationships, sometimes even weed out relationships. Some people say that they can help you and do whatever, but maybe they're not able to do that. That's okay. Not every relationship is meant to last all the seasons, but the ones who do, we are thinking about how we can utilize those and how we can be a benefit to those individuals in 2024 so that we all can grow. Because we talked about networking last week about it needs to be a win-win situation. And so as you're thinking about these relationships, think about where is the win-win? Where's the win-win even for your clients? Do you have a place where you can, if they refer you, that they can get some type of reward for doing that? If not, think about implementing that. Okay. Maybe if people are engaged with you, potential clients are engaged with you, maybe there's a win-win for them that they're learning something new, or maybe they get the opportunity to win something from you or get a free resource. Where's the win-win? So definitely cultivate the engagement and relationships that you need as a business owner to grow your business. And then make sure that you are actively listening as well. It's funny, I laugh at that because I was talking to my son about listening earlier today. But you have to be listening, because you're going to get feedback. You're going to get feedback from your coaches, your mentors, your colleagues, those people you network with, and also from current clients and sometimes even potential clients, letting you know what they think would be better, what they enjoyed, what have you, and then being able to hear that, take what you need, and get rid of the rest. And I always say it like that because if I say listen, then some of you might be listening to bull, right? Stuff that you don't need to hear. But as a business owner, you need to discern what is going to be helpful and then what's just rubbish. So definitely make sure you're actively listening, because there are so many great gems that I've gotten from current clients on how to make my business better. When people finish their contracts and maybe they don't want to renew for whatever reason, maybe they've grown so much that they want to move over to something else, maybe their focus has changed, maybe they're taking a break, maybe this just didn't work out for them, whatever the case may be. I love to hear that input because sometimes I can find, and actually oftentimes I can find a gem to add to what we're doing to make it even better for the next person. So just keep that in mind. All right. So we are almost done, y'all. Almost. Next, we're going to talk about harvesting success and scaling. Again, I get that some of you are in different phases of your business, but we hope that all of you will get to a place of scaling. And then when you are scaling, again, that bandwidth is increased. When you're scaling, you are thinking more, how do I automate? How do I do this on copy paste, repeat? Like how do I make sure that I don't have to be the end all be all for my business, right? You're scaling in mass. So when it comes to scaling, some things to think about in your coaching business is how do you acquire and maintain clients? What is that client funnel? What is that client journey? How do you get clients in? How do you convert clients? How do you keep clients? If you don't have a plan drawn out for that process, this is a time where you should stop, pause the video if you're watching the replay, and write that down. At the beginning of, well, actually the end of last year, me and my assistant sat down and actually drew out the funnels for our business and said, okay, if they start here and they say yes, they go here. If they say no, they go here. If they said no, then they get this. And if they say yes, then they go here. And we literally drew it all out. And you might think that sounds crazy, but it made so much more sense to my assistant to understand where we were going and how we were going to get people to be on that journey with us by having that visual, because then we realized we weren't going to be just losing leads. And in the past, that had been the case where we were like, dang, I don't remember this person. They said they were interested. We never followed up, whatever the case may be. We left a lot of money on the table. You don't want to do that. You want to have systems, right? The S word is systems in place to scale. You want to make sure that you're generating referrals as you expand your business. One way is having, of course, a referral program, having an affiliate program, but don't be reliant on referrals. That is something else we did, like, learn from my mistakes. We did that as well early on. I will admit I got very complacent for a little bit, for about a year, where I had a really good client who had some clients that really could benefit from my services. and she referred new clients to me every single month like clockwork. And some of you came in through there, so thank you for coming. But I got complacent where I wasn't working on marketing and growing my marketing of my business and my sales of my business because people were just coming and saying, "Hey, I heard that this is what I need. Can you send me the invoice?" And I was like, "Yes." And it's like, "Ching," and that sounds great. But when that client moves on, then where's your business? You haven't been putting systems in place that have been growing and thriving. You've been able to adjust them and make sure they're just right. Like I lost all that time. So I don't want you guys to do that. I want you guys to focus on what is your referral program and make that a piece of your marketing plan, right? Because we talked about that. A piece of it. It needs to be a holistic marketing plan. You need to effectively manage your business growth by maintaining the quality as well. So, what does that look like, and what do I mean by that? And I love giving personal examples because I made all kind of mistakes starting out because I didn't know better, right? You do better now because you know better. But when I first started out in my business, it was just me, myself, and I. Just me, myself, and I. And I would get to a point in the business where I would be losing my mind. Like, how am I going to make this happen? There's just too many clients, they need too much. And the quality, right, of my services went down because I wasn't able to respond as fast. I wasn't able to do turnarounds as fast. And then I was also getting maybe even a little sloppy, if I'm being honest. And so I will say this: if you ever feel like you reached the max, right? You've been giving out this amazing service, you've been able to hit your deadlines great. Whenever you get to a point where you're starting to feel that tension of, oh my gosh, like we're about at capacity, it's time for you to do two things. It is what it is. Two things: hire more help, raise your prices. Hire more help and raise your prices. Hire more help because that's how you increase your bandwidth. And if you're saying, well, I don't have money to hire more help, that's why you're increasing your prices to cover that, to cover it, because you're doing so well. You've become so good at what you're doing. You need to now scale the size of your company. And it's okay. Like I've had plenty of people around me, and I've done it myself, where sometimes you hire folks and then you realize, okay, hold on, move a little too fast, and you have to kind of downsize a little bit. It's trial and error. Just be mindful. Don't go hire a 10-person team. Hire one person. Make sure you have systems in place to support them, and then keep going like this. You may have to slow down selling something to make sure people are in place, but better that than someone having a bad experience. And I've actually been talking to you guys for a while about VA services. I've been saying VA services. We were supposed to launch that program months ago. And you would think it's easy because I started as a VA. But when I tell you that we had to get some T's crossed and some I's dotted before we could offer that service, because if I offer it and we don't have the right things in place with the right people, people will have a negative experience. And I promise you, people are more likely to say the negative than the positive. And so you need to sometimes, even if you're excited, even if you want that product to come out, take a pause to make sure you're ready to go, that your team is ready to go, that your systems are in place. And even if you get to the point, like I said, where you hit capacity, slow down sales, right? Make sure that you're only taking what you can do, train up some folks, and then go ahead and open the gates back up and let people in. That's totally okay. We as business owners have to be comfortable in that. Because I get you want to strike while the iron is hot, but if you jump too soon, right? You jump in that water before you learn to swim, you are going to struggle. All right. Don't forget to leverage as you now grow. You're scaling your business, you're growing. Leverage those success stories. I can't even speak today. Leverage those testimonials so that people know that people have already benefited from your amazing work. All right. So we are almost to the end. Look, let me get a sip. Something there's like hair on me. I'm sorry, I've been messing with my face. All right. So we're almost to the end. Hopefully you've been getting something out of this. But the last part of tonight's talk: cultivating a thriving coaching ecosystem. And we've kind of already talked about that when I talked about a community. But I will say this: you need to recognize and optimize the various components that contribute to your business success. What does that mean? It means that and I say this to clients all the time. They'll say, what can I do to make sure I'm successful? Can I do this or that? And I say, it's not a this or that, it's a this and that. Make sure you are looking at your business as a whole thing. Look at all the pieces that make it successful. If there's like a misshapen cog in the system, you'll see that your business isn't flourishing. Just replace that cog. Don't throw the whole business away, right? So look at the different parts. What are your sales? Where's your networking, right? Where's your collaboration? Where's your value, right? All those things. Where's your marketing? Where are all the pieces? Where's your business plan? Amen. I know I'm calling somebody out with that. Where are all of these pieces? Are they in place? Have you set up SOPs for your team, or are you just hiring people and hope they know what they're doing? Where's your education? Right? How many of you all have gotten additional education since you started being a coach? Hopefully you say yesterday, because anything longer than a month or two ago is too long ago. So make sure that everything that's contributing to the success of your business is kept in mind, and that is strategic, that you know, and you set up a system and say, okay, I know I need education in these forms this year, right? 2024, here's my education, here's my products and services, here's my business plan, here's my target audience, here's what I'm going to sell, this is how I'm going to get them there, this is what I'm going to do on my closing calls, like all these things. This is the whole thing. Once you have that, this is the community that gets the people there. Then you can see your business as a whole. And I know that this may sound overwhelming, but I'm telling you this because some of you are skipping such important steps for the sake of saying, I have a business where I'm selling a product. I've been there, I've done that, and if I could do it all again, I would wish somebody like me who was standing there saying, hold on, before you get too excited, let's make sure some things are in place so that you don't have the growing pains of having to hire and fire. You know what I mean? That you don't have the growing pains of making a product that doesn't sell, right? Switching your target audience, wasting money on ads, wasting money on systems. I had people that have come to me who have invested in so many softwares that they will never use, websites that will never see the light of day, right? Courses that will never be completed. I don't want that for you. But the way we stop that is by ensuring that you do have all your pieces in place before you jump out into the deep end. Okay, so we want to make sure you have a well-rounded approach to your marketing, to your sales, to your overall brand. And then we want to make sure that you are protective of this system. I'm going to be honest with you. Don't tell everybody your business. Okay, I know a lot of people have heard that before, but don't tell everybody your business. Make sure you have a coach and or mentor. I just find it I'm just gonna be honest. I just find it laughable sometimes when people are like, I'm a coach and I'm gonna sell this product for $5,000 and they don't have a coach. Houseway, houseway. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, then why should somebody else be willing to invest in you? Makes no sense to me. That's like a car salesman selling me a car and he walks to work. Makes no sense to me. You're selling me a house and you don't have a home. Makes no sense to me. Just being honest. If, like, would you go to school and be taught by a teacher that does not have their high school diploma? I think not. So just make sure that you are invested in yourself by having a mentor, having a coach and or a coach. Typically, I have a mentor. I've had the same mentor for a long time, and then every year I switch coaches based on my need. Because again, everybody doesn't do everything. They can't solve all your problems. So if you are somebody sitting here right now, you've come across a video, you're watching it live, watching the replay, I would encourage you, if you don't have a coach, if you don't have any of the systems that we've talked about today, if there are missing pieces in your business, I suggest that you go ahead and book a free mini audit with me so that me and my team can look over what you've been doing, right? Because most of you at least started doing something, but we can look over what you're doing and help you find those gaps in your system and help you set up a plan, goals, and a timeline to achieve those things. We are very hands-on. We are very straightforward. We don't want to take your money just for the sake of taking your money. We really work with you to ensure that you have the things you need in place to succeed. So I do encourage you, again, it's a free call. If you don't like me, if you don't like what I got to say, you don't have to invest. We have a lot of things available for you guys for every level of your business to help support you, because I do believe that we all can win. If somebody would have told me years ago that I'd be where I am now, I'd be like, you're lying, because the odds were not in my favor. And I know some of you are feeling the same way. But guess what? We can do it. We can be full-time entrepreneurs. We can also be wives. We can also be husbands. We can also be caregivers. We can also live a life of leisure. We can all do all the things, but we have to have systems in place to do that. So again, I just encourage you to book that free call. It's in the description. The link's in the description of this post. And I look forward to talking to you guys. And even if you don't book a call, still, especially if you're in that private community, share with us what you do, who you serve, and how we can support you. But you guys remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. And I will talk to you guys soon.